And how do we know valid URL or not? Means whatever the URLs you are using in your Django project, whatever the URLs you are using in your Django project, all of them they are registered inside a file called urls.py. There is a file available called urls.py. In that file, all the URLs are registered. And that file we call it URL dispatcher. URL dispatcher. So what Django will do, once a request has come, it checks whether it is a valid request or not. Suppose whatever the URL you are requesting there, whatever the URL you are requesting, then what happens? Whatever the URL you are requesting, then what happens? It will show if the URL is invalid, 404 error. Generally, you will see in the web pages, websites while browsing, if the given URL is invalid, then it will show 404 error. Invalid URL, something like this. So that's what they do. If it is invalid, it will show some error. So if the URL is valid, then your request is forwarded to the corresponding view. So in Django, views are declared in a file called views.py. There is a file available called views.py where all views of Django they are declared inside. All views of Django they are declared inside the views.py file. And as I said yesterday, it is responsible for request handling. Once the URLs are submitted to views.py, then the view will start processing our request. The view will start processing our request. If the request is valid, if the request is valid, okay, the request is always valid. If required, what the view will do? By taking the help of a model class, by taking the help of a model class, it will interact with the corresponding database. By taking the help of a model class, it will interact with the corresponding database. Based on the response given by the database, the view will generate the output through a template file. Templates are nothing but HTML files here. Templates are nothing but HTML files here through a template file. So it will generate the response. And before sending the output to the client, what it will do? One copy of that template, it will save it inside a resource called cache network. One copy of that, it will save it inside a resource called cache network. Why it will save means maybe the same output is needed in the coming future. Maybe it's the same output you want to send in the coming future. Then in that case, instead of repeating all the tasks, directly the data will be sent there. So this is how the request handling process implemented. First, the URLs are verified in urls.py. If the URL is invalid, 404 error. If the URL is valid, it is handled by the view. During the process, view can interact with the database and it can generate corresponding response in the form of a template and submits to the end user. So this is how the MVT pattern. So MVT pattern, so how it is done. These are, it is implemented there like this. These are implemented there like this. How this works means this is the way how we can define it. Okay. Now let's see how to start working with Django. How to set a project environment using Django. Now let's see here. Setting the project environment. So in order to work with the Django, first we need to install Python. Of course, it was already done. In the country, already we are working with the Django. We have completed Python also. So already done, no issues. Then the second step is install PyCharm IDE. Okay, working with the PyCharm, it will be discussed later. We'll see about it later. Second. Third one, we have to create virtual environment. We have to create virtual environment. Uh, like install and create virtual environment. And what is this virtual environment? Suppose that I have installed Python. First మనం Python install చేసాం. And then you installed Django, and even you have created a project using Django. You have created a project using Django. So everything was fine. Now, because of some reason, don't know what exactly the reason is, because of some reason, you have deleted Python software from your system. So when I have deleted Python software, then will my Django application work? Definitely no. It will not work. ఎందుకంటే Django, it's a Python based framework. So if you have deleted Python, then how it is going to run Django application? How it is going to run the Django application? So that's what there. So this application, now it will not work. So that's what exactly the problem here. That's why by creating a virtual environment, what we will do, by creating a virtual environment, what we'll do, a logical copy of Python software, we will save it separately. A logical copy of Python software, we will save it separately. So that even if Python was removed from your system, because the logical copy is available with you, you can continue with the Django programming. Still, you can run your applications. Okay, so that is what exactly the purpose of virtual environment. A logical copy of Python will be created and went there here like this. Okay, now let's see how to work with. Before that, what I will do to save our Django projects somewhere in my system. Somewhere in my system, where documents. Okay, somewhere in my system, I'll create a folder called Django projects. So this is the folder where I want to save, where I want to build and save my Django projects. This is the location where I want to build and save. Okay. So now what we'll do? Let's see here. First, what we have to do, open Explorer and go to working directory. And the location where you want to save your Django projects. Next, what we'll do in the address bar, type CMD and press enter key. Type CMD and press enter key. Then install virtual environment as below. So first we have to install this virtual environment, that library. So CMD command line, Django projects. Now I'm in this folder. So what I will do now, pip install virtual environment. I will install it. So first I have to install this one. It is downloading and installing the libraries for virtual environment there. Okay. Once done, hmm, once done, next what? Create a new virtual environment as below. Actually, still my folder is empty, nothing is there. Still the folder is empty. Now I have to create a virtual environment. So how to create means virtual environment. You can give any name. Any name you can give for it. Environment name. Some name you can give. Like for example, I will write here virtual env, my venv. This is what the name I will give. Virtual environment, my venv. This is what the name I will give. And I want to create a virtual on it environment on its name. Now it was created. Now when we see, it has created a folder called myvenv. And here you can have a folder called lib, lib, and then a folder called scripts folder. So in the scripts folder, you can see the pip tool is there. Hmm? The Python engine is there. And then in the lib folder, the basic packages of Python, site packages, the basic packages of Python, a virtual environment, a logical copy of basic Python environment created. So once done, once the virtual environment is created, change it to scripts folder of virtual environment and activate it. Change it to scripts folder of virtual environment and activate it. So activate, how to activate it? By typing the command activate. That's it. Suppose if I want to deactivate, if I want to deactivate the virtual environment, then what I will do? Just I'll type the command deactivate like this. Okay, first I have activated it. First I have to activate the virtual environment. So if I type activate here, it will not work because this command is available in scripts folder. So that's why cd myvenv cd scripts, just go to scripts folder. And here you type the command called activate. Activate and చూడండి, now it was come like this. Now you can see it was shown like this. myvenv, something like it is showing. So on this name, the command prompt was created. If you want to deactivate it, just say deactivate. ఎందుకంటే in the scripts folder, you have these commands. You can see deactivate and activate. These two commands are available here. That's it. Okay, I will activate the virtual environment. Okay, now the virtual environment is ready. Now, the fourth step here, install Django. So, install Django in scripts folder. And by entering into scripts folder, you have to install it. Install Django in scripts folder as below. Pip install Django like this. So if you want to install a specific version of Django, just you can give the version number. Just you can give the version number. No version, nothing. Directly I want to install. Just I can say pip install Django. Now let's see what I will do. The virtual environment already activated and I am in the scripts folder. Now I will write here ఈరోజు ఎవరో కొత్త కొత్త వాళ్ళు చేరినట్టున్నారు క్లాస్లో. You can see all the required packages for it. Everything it is installing there. Downloading and installing all the required packages. You can find all these packages in site packages folder. Site packages folder, you can find them. So you can see the version 5.0.7. The Django version it has installed. So until now, we set the environment and we did everything. Okay, if you want to deactivate, you can deactivate it. Exit, you can terminate. Means, okay, fine. So till now, what we did, we have created the environment to build a Django project where we can build and run a Django project. We built it. Okay. Now, till now, the things are done. Let's see creating our first Django project. Creating our first Django project. Like how? Open Explorer. ఏముంటది Open Explorer and change to scripts folder of virtual environment. Scripts folder of virtual environment and activate it. Activate the scripts folder. So in this scripts folder, where is that? You have a command available called django admin. You have a command available called django admin. Okay, what we'll do? Create a new Django project as below. Like how means django admin. We use the command that is start project name. Django admin start project name. Like I will say like Django admin start project. Some name I will give sample project. PROJ something. That's it. Okay, now observe clearly. So how to start working with the Django? Observe clearly. First, you go to your virtual environment. In my system, I've created in documents, Django projects, my environment, scripts folder, and address bar CMD. CMD. Now, first I will activate the virtual environment. Once activated, I'll create a new project like this. Django admin, start project, sample project. Once we submit, now you can see a folder here. Sample project on the name. You can see a folder here. In this folder, there is again a project folder created. In the scripts folder, it will create sample project. Inside again, it will create a sample project and a file called manage.py. It will create a file called manage.py. That's what. So once done, now what we'll do? Once done, now what we'll do? See here. Just change to project folder. Change to project folder. Folder. and create a new application as below. When a project is divided as a collection of modules, these modules we call them applications. Like for example, I'm working with a banking application. So employee is one module, account is one module, loan is one module, like that. And those modules we will create it as applications here. And those modules will create it as applications here. So that your project can have any number of applications. We can create it as applications here like this. Like how to create a new application means Python manage.py. This is the command. Startup, just give the application name. Startup, just give the application name. Suppose I have given something like Python manage.py startup app1. That is what the name I have given, app1. Now let's see what it will do. Python manage.py startup app1. Now you can see previously in the project folder, it has created project folder only. It has created project folder with manage.py. Now you can see it has created a folder app1. It has created a folder app1, and now you can see admin.py. Administration duties you can define here. Now you can see like models.py. In this file, we'll define the model classes. Views.py. This is the views. Test.py. We'll write the test cases. Test cases. So once the app is registered, once the app is created, what we have to do? Register the application to the project by modifying settings.py. Project configuration or project environment settings, you can define it inside settings.py file. దీంట్లో చేసుకుంటాం. Where is this settings.py means? It is available in the project folder. చూడండి, app folder, project folder. App folder, you have models, tests, views, admin.py. In project folder, you have, now you can see settings.py, urls.py. I told you, URL dispatcher. It contains urls.py. Okay. Now just to open the settings.py file. Open the settings.py file. So once it's opened, then what you do is like here you can find an option called installed apps. You can find an option called installed apps. And here you register your application app1. Ichundi provides built-in middleware services, admin services, authentication services, sessions, messaging, static resources, something like. Similarly, app1, we are registering the application to the project. So once app1 was registered, ఈ లిస్ట్ లో మనం రిజిస్టర్ చేస్తాం. యూ కెన్ సీ మిడిల్ వేర్స్. What are the different middlewares it has provided? Security sessions, several things like this. So once it was registered in settings.py, once it was registered in settings.py, now what is the next step? It is start building the code. Now the next step is start building the code. You can start writing the code here, like. So how to start building the code? So how to implement different type of things using Django. First, you try to build the environment up to here. You create the project environment. You create the project. You install the application, register the application and everything. Just to create the things up to here. The coding related to Django, how to, we will see it in the coming sessions. Okay, na? Am I full? Clear? Any questions, ma?
No, sir.
ఏం డల్ అయిపోయారు ఈ మధ్య? బిజీ ఇన్ యువర్ కాలేజ్ వర్క్?
కొంచెం సార్ అంటే డ్రైవర్కి ఆప్టిట్యూడ్ అవి ఇవి చెప్తున్నారు. డే అంతా అదే అవుతుంది.
ఓకే. చూసారా నిన్న నేను షేర్ చేశానది? ఆల్మోస్ట్ 20,000 జాబ్స్ ఇన్ఫోసిస్ దే ఆర్ ప్లానింగ్. Freshers. And many companies they are planning for almost 60,000 freshers. ఇప్పుడుండే హెవీ రెసిషన్లో ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ వెరీ వెరీ బిగ్ ఆపర్చునిటీ. సో మ్యాక్స్ యూటిలైజ్ చేసుకోండి. సి లాంగ్వేజ్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ అయిపోండి. నేను సి వీడియో షేర్ చేశాను మీకు. క్లాసెస్ షేర్ చేయలేదా? సో ఐ విల్ షేర్ దెమ్ త్రూ టెరాబాక్స్. మీరు దాన్ని డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. వన్స్ డౌన్లోడెడ్ యు జస్ట్ గో త్రూ దెమ్. అంటే బేసిక్ లెవెల్ టు, అంటే మరీ డెప్త్ చెప్పలేదు కానీ ఫర్ మై సన్ హూ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు జాయిన్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ 3 years బ్యాక్. నౌ హీ ఎంటర్డ్ హిజ్ 4th year. సో వాడికి చెప్పేటప్పుడు ఐ వెంట్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఇన్ డెప్త్. అంటే మళ్ళీ ఇంటర్వ్యూ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ కాకపోయినా somehow I have created that. I will add it in the group. You just download it and go to. అంటే పాయింట్ టు పాయింట్, బేసిక్ లెవెల్ పాయింట్ టు పాయింట్ మెనీ థింగ్స్ ఆర్ ఇంట్రడ్యూస్. ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ నుంచి, ట్రాన్స్లేటర్ నుంచి, ఫార్మాట్ స్ట్రింగ్స్, లాజిక్ బిల్డింగ్, హౌ టు, ప్లెంటీ ఆఫ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఐ డిస్కస్డ్ ఇట్ విత్ దెమ్. చూడండి, ఐ థింక్ ఇట్ కెన్ హెల్ప్ యూ టెక్నికల్లీ. ఓకేనా? సో విల్ స్టార్ట్ వర్కింగ్ విత్ ద కోడ్ ఫ్రమ్ Monday session.